Good evening and welcome to the December 19th, 2017 San Bruno Planning Commission. Roll call, please.
Chair Chase, he's excused. Vice Chair Biasotti.
Here.
Commissioner Johnson.
Here.
Commissioner Legacy. Commissioner Lethen.
Here.
Commissioner Mason.
Here.
And Commissioner Peterson. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Lethen, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay. Item 1, approval of minutes for November 21st, 2017.
Through the chair, I
Commissioner?
move that we approve the minutes of November 21st, 2017.
All right. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'll abstain.
And did you get a chance to vote?
Aye.
Very good. Thank you. Okay. Communications, item 2.
No additional communications this evening.
Thank you. Item 3, public comment on items not on the agenda. Is there anyone here who'd like to speak to the commission about something that's not on the agenda this evening? Okay, we'll close public comment. Item 4, conflicts of interest. Anyone?
None.
Nope, no conflicts of interest, so we'll move right on to item 5A, 1429 Keynes Avenue. So a request for a use permit to allow the construction of a 807 square foot addition that exceeds the maximum of permitted floor area ratio. Staff report, please.
Thank you and good evening. As indicated, the applicant has applied for a use permit to allow the construction of an 807 square foot addition that would exceed the 0.55 FAR guideline. The site is located on Keynes between Chestnut Avenue and Sycamore Avenue. The overall lot size is 5,445 square feet in total area and is currently developed with a 2-story single-family home containing 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a living room, dining room, family room, kitchen, plus an attached 258 square foot 1-car garage. Before getting into the specifics of the proposal that's before the Planning Commission tonight, I want to provide some background information as a previous version of these plans were reviewed by the Architectural Review Committee and Planning Commission. The project was initially submitted on March 31st of 2016, and the original project called for a 566 square foot 2nd-story addition to the existing single-family home. The initial submittal required a use permit for exceeding the 0.55 FAR guideline and for exceeding 1,825 square feet of living area with a 1-car garage. At that time, staff expressed some concern regarding the amount of living area, as the applicant was proposing 2,745 square feet of living space with a 1-car garage. For similar applications, staff has consistently recommended that the overall living area not exceed 2,100 square feet with a 1-car garage. The project was reviewed by the Architectural Review Committee at their August 11th, 2016 meeting, and at that meeting there was a couple design alternatives that were discussed. One alternative looked at proceeding with an interior remodel, and a second alternative looked at exploring the opportunity of incorporating a second covered parking space, either via a tandem garage or a garage in a side-by-side setting. At that meeting, at that time, the property owner indicated that he did not want to consider these options as they weren't feasible, as they would require some significant interior modifications to the floor plan. And the applicant indicated that he wanted to proceed with the project as proposed. The Architectural Review Committee ultimately recommended and forwarded the project onto the Planning Commission with a recommendation to deny the project. That same project was reviewed by the Planning Commission at their October 2016 meeting, and rather than denying the project, the Planning Commission continued the item in order for the applicant to further consider the proposed options that were discussed at the previous Architectural Review Committee meeting. Since that time, the applicant has worked very close with staff regarding this matter, and the applicant has elected to proceed with option 2. Specifically, the applicant is electing to expand the existing 1-car garage into a traditional 2-car garage in a side-by-side setting. This would impact the existing living room on site, so there's a number of first floor modifications that are proposed, and I'll briefly go through those. The existing bedroom located towards the front of the home would be eliminated and would be replaced with a new living room. The existing front entrance would also be modified to accommodate a new, larger front porch with 2 supporting columns. The 2 existing bathrooms located towards the front of the home would be combined into 1 large bathroom. The existing stairs within the bathroom located towards the rear of the home would be eliminated, and the kitchen would be slightly modified to accommodate a new eating area. The proposal before the commission also includes an 807 square foot addition to the second floor, which would contain a new master suite containing a master bedroom, master bathroom, and a dressing room. The existing second-story bedroom would also be reconfigured to accommodate an additional bedroom on the second floor level. If approved and constructed, this would be a 4-bedroom home with 3 bathrooms with a total of 2,790 square feet, 98 square feet of living space, and a 446 square foot garage. A use permit is required as the proposed floor area exceeds the 0.55 FAR guideline. Specifically, the total square footage amounts to 3,244 square feet, which corresponds to a 0.61 FAR. And this is in line with the 0.62 FAR threshold that was established with the Crestmore rebuild area. Staff finds that the addition is well designed and complies with the residential design guidelines. Most notably, the first story is set back from the second story is set back from the first story below along the front and left side elevation and portions of the rear elevations. Where there are walls within the same vertical plane, the applicant has proposed 4 decorative wood trellises to help break up the mass of those walls. And you can find those trellises along the left side, right side, and rear elevation. Stucco is proposed for the home, and it would match the existing single-family home. Additionally, there will be a decorative stone base along the front elevation, which would continue and wrap around on the left side and right side elevations. Regarding parking, I've already touched on this, but just to reiterate, a 2-car garage is proposed in a side-by-side setting, which is consistent with municipal code requirements. The garage is also set back 22 feet from the back edge of the sidewalk, which would allow for 2 automobiles to be parked within the right-of-way or within the driveway, and it would not negatively impact the right-of-way. So all in all, they have the ability to park 4 automobiles on site, 2 within the garage and 2 within the driveway. Staff did notify all property owners within 300 feet of the subject property, and we did not receive any comments regarding this proposal. Overall, staff is supportive of the project, and we would recommend that the Planning Commission approve the use permit request based on findings of fact 1 through 6 and conditions of approval 1 through 28. This concludes my staff presentation, but I'd be happy to answer any clarifying questions that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Any questions for staff?
I just have a procedural question
Of course.
to the chair. It didn't have to go back to Planning Commission just because they went with the option, with the second option. Is that right? Just because I saw, I mean, it's been over a year, so I just wanted to make sure I'm understanding why it didn't go back.
So it's coming back to Planning Commission tonight as the proposed and revised application.
I'm sorry, I meant architectural review.
Okay, no. We made an internal decision that this project did not have to go back to the Architectural Review Committee as it's already been reviewed by the Architectural Review Committee. And we just wanted to take it through a 1-step review process to try to expedite things on our end.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for staff?
I do have one question. On the conditions of approval, number 14, I noticed. I'm sorry. I noticed that in the conditions of approval number 14, Parkview was referenced, and I think that may be a typo.
Yeah, that's a good catch. That was an oversight within the condition language. It should read Keynes Avenue in both situations.
Okay, thank you.
Just clarify.
Anything else for staff? Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
And we'll open up the public comment, and if the applicant is here, would you step to the podium, give us your name, and speak about the project?
Good evening. My name is Jose Guadamus. I am in charge of this project addition of remodeling of remodeling of the house for Fabian and Veronica Juarez, owner of the house. I just have to say that the owner has been since the start of this process, very enthusiastic and fully involved in the making this layout, trying to fit into their family priorities. The current house of the 3-bedroom and 3-bathroom will be increased to 4-bedroom and 3-bathroom, all reconfigured. And the existing 1-car garage will be expanded to fit 2-car garage side by side, complying with the planning regulation. In general, the proposed addition will be compatible, maintaining the roof shape and material and feature of the house. So we have no doubt in our mind that this project addition will be in accordance with the surrounding properties, and we believe that the improvement to this house will, the changes of the house will be an improvement to the neighborhood. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant? Oh, yes, please.
Good evening. Is it on? Okay. Good evening, and thank you for reviewing our proposal today. My name is Veronica Juarez, and I am a San Bruno native, born and raised here in San Bruno. And when my husband and I bought this house, it was our intention to raise our family in San Bruno. And with that, we've always wanted to add a room. We have a 1-month-old as of today. She's 4 weeks. She's not here because it's too cold with our other 2 children. And our intention has always been just to add 1 room, which was the original proposal. But given the constraints and all the codes, in working with Matt, we had to add another car garage. And so it's been an absolute pleasure to work with Matt and get creative and have good discussions as to how it actually make our dream of our home for our family to actually fit within the parameters of the Planning Commission and make it work for all of those involved. And I'm hoping that this is a solution that the Planning Commission will approve so we can finally break ground and bring this project afoot, because we got a 1-month-old that needs a room. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Unless you have questions.
Is there anyone with questions? Okay. Is there anyone from the public that would like to speak on this? Anyone? No? Okay. We'll close the public comment and bring it back to the commission for conversation, votes, motions. Anyone?
Through the chair,
Commissioner.
if there are no comments, I'm happy to make a motion that the Planning Commission approve use permit 16-009 based on findings of facts 1 through 6 and conditions of approval 1 through 28.
All those approve?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. There's a 10-day appeal period, and then you can get started. Congratulations. You're welcome. All right, item B, 121 Scenic Court. It's a request for use permit and minor modification to allow partial infill of an existing front porch, which would increase the... Yes, Perry. Oh, please. Thank you, Perry. Would increase the gross floor area of the residence by 56 square feet, exceeding the maximum permitted gross floor area by 41 square feet. Staff report, please.
Good evening. I'm Ami Upadhyay, Planning Department staff. The applicant is requesting for a use permit and minor modification to infill the front porch area to add a new bathroom and a closest space to the existing front bedroom. The applicant is Z. Guan and the owners are Patrick and Margaret Riley. The proposal to infill the front porch would increase the total gross floor area by 56 square feet, which exceeds the FAR requirements for this lot by 41 square feet. If approved and constructed, the gross floor area of the home would be 2,846 square feet, including the existing garage. The subject property is located on the southwest corner of the Scenic Court in the Parkview Terrace number 3 subdivision. Immediately to adjacent to the subject property are single-family dwellings and Junipero Shera Park. The subject lot measures 5,468 square feet in area with an average slope of 15%. The property is currently developed with a one-story over garage single-family dwelling that contains 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms in 2,243 square feet of living space. The residence includes 547 square feet of 2-car garage for a total gross floor area of 2,790 square feet. The overall design of the proposed addition is consistent with the scale and massing of the existing home and would not substantially alter its appearance. The requested minor modification would align the building's existing right side wall, which is located at 4 feet 7 inch from the right side property line, a deviation of 5 inch from the code requirement, and on the right side setbacks it's 5 feet 3 inch, 3 inch addition from the code requirement. The lesser side setback will not interfere with the light or air on the adjacent property because it is located beneath the existing roof that covers the porch, existing porch area. The proposed roofing, exterior stucco finish and window trim will be consistent with the existing resident. The addition on the front would not impact on the existing front setbacks and will remain similar to the existing condition. The existing home is topped with the hipped roof and contains composite roofing tiles. The proposed front addition would match the existing hip roof and the roofing material. Staff finds that the proposal is consistent with the roof throughout the neighborhood, which are generally a mix of a gable and hipped roof homes. The proposed window on the front bedroom would have a 3-inch wooden trim similar to the existing window type. The exterior walls will also have similar stucco finish as the existing exterior walls. Overall, the design of the new addition is well integrated with the existing home and also with the surrounding neighborhood. The proposal meets the majority of the development standards outlined in within the San Bruno Municipal Code and will not affect the existing height of the structure, therefore not creating any significant shadowing to the adjacent property as a result of the reduced side setback. The project would not result in the removal of any mature trees on the site. The Architecture Review Committee reviewed the project during the November 16, 2017 meeting and indicated support for the proposal and forwarded it to the Planning Commission. Staff sent a legal notice to all property owners within 300 feet of the subject site on December 8, 2017. No comments have been received as of the writing of this report. This concludes my presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you very much. Any questions for staff? Nope. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll open up the public comment, and if the applicant would like to address us and give us your name and talk about your project.
Hi, good evening, Commissioner. My name is Bill Guan. I'm the architect of the project. Thank you, Ami. You did a great presentation, and thanks for your work. I mean, I really appreciate it, both me and the owner. I think your comments really helpful. I just want to emphasize a few things. The increase of the floor area doesn't increase the number of bedrooms. The number of bedrooms still stay the same. The existing bedroom is really small, teeny. So I think adding it to the porch really a great improvement to the property. And another thing is there's similar design in the neighborhood. So I think the design will somehow, will fit into the character of the neighborhoods. And there's two-car garage, and the material, the finish, very similar to existing. So I think the design will well fit into the existing building or the neighborhood. This concludes my conversation on my report. If you have any question, I can answer.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for the applicant?
Through the chair. Have you read all the conditions of approval, and are you completely okay with those requirements?
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Anyone else? No? Okay. Would you like to speak to the commission?
Good evening. I just want to say that basically what I want to do is just add another bathroom and a closet, and it's not going to affect any appearance of the outside of the house, so I don't think it's going to be much of a change. Appreciate your time and consideration. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any questions? No? Okay. So we'll close the public comment, seeing that there's no one else here, and bring it back to the commission for comments, motions, votes. Anyone?
Motion to approve?
Okay, we have a motion. Anyone want a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Project's approved. There's a 10-day appeal period before you can start anything. Good luck. All right, you're very welcome. All right, item 5C. Parking lot located on the west side of Mastic Avenue, just north of Taylor Avenue. Staff report, please.
Thank you. The item before the Planning Commission tonight is a temporary use permit request to establish an off-site construction staging area within a portion of the city parking lot located on the west side of Mastic Avenue, just north of Taylor Avenue. Specifically, the southernmost portion of the city parking lot will support the required scaffolding and will be used as a loading and unloading area during the construction of the Plaza project. And just to refresh everyone's memory, the Plaza project is an approved mixed-use development located at 406 and 418 San Mateo Avenue. Will contain 83 residential units, approximately 6,975 square feet of commercial space that will front San Mateo Avenue, and will also contain 106 subgrade parking spaces. The city parking lot is located just north of the Plaza project site. This is one of 8 city-owned parking lots in the downtown area. This specific parking lot contains 25 total spaces, 24 standard spaces, and 1 ADA accessible parking space. The San Bruno Municipal Code allows off-site construction staging areas lasting up to 1 year with a temporary use permit approval from the Planning Commission. The temporary use permit is required as the scaffolding assembly and surrounding fencing encroaches into the southernmost portion of the city parking lot, which consists of 6 total parking spaces. The scaffolding is necessary for fall protection per OSHA requirements. The remainder of the 6 parking spaces would be used as a loading and unloading area. The additional 19 parking spaces on site would remain open for public use. The project was reviewed by the Police Department, Fire Department, Public Works Department, and the Building Division. We have placed a number of conditions of approval on the project, and I just want to highlight a few. Condition of approval number 4 requires the applicant to maintain the construction staging area in a clean and orderly condition. Any trash, dirt, and debris shall be cleaned on a daily basis. Condition of approval number 5 states that employees and construction workers shall park entirely within the Peninsula Corridor Joint Powers Board lot located off of Huntington Avenue and shall not park in the surrounding residential neighborhoods or downtown parking lots. Condition of approval number 11 requires the applicant to provide flaggers as necessary to temporarily control traffic during materials deliveries. We'd also like to incorporate a new condition tonight. This would be condition of approval number 14, requiring the applicant to enter into a license agreement. The condition would read, the applicant shall enter into a license agreement with the city which will specify the required monthly payment and contain other standard provisions, including insurance and indemnification by the licensee of the city. Staff sent a notice to all property owners within 300 feet and all occupants within 300 feet, and we have not received any comments. Overall, staff supports the temporary use permit request and recommends that the Planning Commission approve this request, subject to the findings and conditions of approval within the staff report, with the incorporation of condition of approval number 14. This concludes my staff presentation, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Any questions for staff?
Chair.
Commissioner Peterson.
On the project, they fairly often have been working on Taylor or on San Mateo Avenue. There have been many steel plates covering San Mateo Avenue from time to time. Some of them are loose. The edges of the plates are completely above the plates next to them. Have you noticed that or discussed it with the applicant?
You know, I've not noticed that particular situation. I know they are doing work within the public right-of-way, and when that the work is not yet complete, and during the evening hours, they have to cover that up for safety reasons. But we will bring this to the applicant's attention, and we will discuss that internally with our Public Works Department as well. Thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Thank you. I understand they have to do some of the work in the public right-of-way, but the plates should not be completely above the adjacent plate, and they should be firmly attached so they don't clank and make a lot of noise when you go over them, because that indicates they may be able to move while traffic is trying to travel over them. Thank you for your help.
Thanks for the feedback.
Anyone else?
Through the chair?
Please.
I just want to confirm that the ADA space designated in that parking lot will not be affected by this plan?
That is correct. The ADA space will remain open for public use.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else?
Through the chair. The space in the back where you're talking about the safe passage, what's that going to look like? It's on page 5, and it's under Public Works, number 8. The applicant shall provide for safe passage of vehicles, pedestrians, and bicycles. I know that the passageway right now on San Mateo Avenue in front of Plaza is, it's not that convenient, I would say, if you're walking down there, especially if you're walking with strollers. So I'm just curious, what is that going to look like?
For this specific condition of approval, I believe it's referencing the city parking lot located just north of the site. So
Yeah.
as currently exist on site today, there's two curb cuts that provide access to the site. You enter the site via the southernmost curb cut, and then you exit the site via the northernmost curb cut. With this application, both curb cuts will remain open and free for public use.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Thank you, Matt.
Thanks.
Would the applicant, or we'll open public comment, and the applicant can speak to the commission on this project.
Good evening, Commission. My name is Peter Dunn. I am a development manager for the project owner. I'm here, I apologize, I was expecting a representative from the general contractor, who's actually the applicant for this temporary use permit, to be here tonight. So they got caught up, weren't able to make it. So I'm happy to answer any questions you have. I think Matt did a great job laying it out. But I've heard your concern on the plates, and we do, the contractor worked hard to keep them flat and level. Caltrans has requirements as well. There has been a lot of work going out on there, and we're actually in the process of finishing the storm drain line on San Mateo Avenue right now. So hopefully within about 2 weeks, those plates will be gone. But I'll remind the contractor in the morning about that.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No. just
Okay.
happy to
Any
answer
questions for the applicant? No? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we'll bring it back to the commission for comments, motions, and I think we also want to make sure that we include the 14th condition in any motion, if that's what the motion maker would like. So, anyone?
I motion to approve with the addition of the 14th
Condition of approval?
Condition of approval.
All right. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. Is there a 10-day appeal period on this as well?
Yes, there is.
Okay. Good luck. Thank you, sir. All right. Item 6, discussion. City staff discussion. Anything?
As we normally do at this time on the agenda, we're looking for volunteers for the next Architectural Review Committee meeting. We're ending the year, so the next committee meeting is in January. It'll be January 11th. So 3 volunteers.
I'm in.
Commissioner Peterson, Vice Chair Biasotti. We have competition here. This is fantastic. Commissioner Johnson, would you like to attend that meeting?
Certainly.
Okay, so Peterson, Johnson, and Biasotti.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Okay, item B, Planning Commission discussion. Anyone? To bring forward? Perry,
Through the chair.
please.
I just would like to check on if there's been some progress with a possible future delivery area for the car dealer.
As I updated you at the last Planning Commission meeting, our staff has met with the applicant and discussed this. We've also met with representatives in our Public Works Department, and we outlined what needs to happen next. Essentially, the business owner at Victory Honda needs to submit an application. We're still waiting for them to submit the application to the TSPC, the Transportation Safety and Parking Committee, for consideration of that loading zone. And the committee will consider that loading zone based on a staff report. We indicated that some of the criteria under consideration, we want to make sure that that loading zone is placed so that more than one business could conveniently use that loading zone, for example. We also want to make sure that the loading zone is located so that as a larger delivery truck parks in that loading zone, it's not obstructing sight distance as people, as motorists need to move in and out of, say, a driveway. Those would be a couple of the considerations that would come forward. The owners of Victory Honda have indicated that they are very interested in pursuing that application and that they will submit that application for review and consideration. The overall process is about 90 days. So we are waiting for that application to be submitted. Once it's submitted, it will be processed by our public works staff, go to TSPC for consideration at a public meeting.
Thank you. Through the chair also, I want to say I drive by there a lot. I noticed they restriped the parking lot in front.
Yes.
And it looks a lot more ship-shape. In general, the operation looks much more orderly than it did before. I want to thank you for
Good.
your staff help.
Good. I think Matt and other staff have been working diligently with the business owners, and I'm glad to see some improvements there. We expect more.
Well, it's
Thank you.
definitely good.
Thank you very much.
To the chair.
Please.
I want to, as the year closes, to thank the staff, your leadership, particularly David, and how you lead our community and our staff and the projects that we do. We've accomplished a lot this past year. It's been productive. It's been done well, and I want to say thank you to each of you, to Matt, to Michael, and of course our additional people who've come on at the tail ends. Thank you to both of you, and I'm proud to be part of San Bruno and under your leadership direction. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Anyone else? Okay. Well, on behalf of the San Bruno Planning Commission, I too would like to thank all of you on staff for the hard work that you do and the wonderful job that you do. Miriam, thank you for all your hard work back there. And for all you folks at home, on behalf of the Planning Commission, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's to each and every one of you. And with that, we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.